How did you survive, or maybe you pay attention, but transition between film and digital? It's,
right.
Okay, it's over now, it's no doubt, but it was painful for some people.
Yeah, it was a difficult transition. In fact, I've only shot one feature film digital in the 17 movies that I've shot, and it was last year, the first one. On commercials, I've shot a lot of digital, and I would always go in and test cameras and, you know, work stuff out. But for us, cinematographers, I mean, I was saying the other night when I shot tracks in Australia 2 years ago, we shot on film, and the lab was nowhere near where we were shooting. And I felt very confident every day that what I sent to the lab was fine. I knew how to expose neg. I knew exactly what it was going to look like every day, whatever I was going to do. And so I had no worries that I didn't see dailies or anything like that. So I'd got to that point in my career, then all of a sudden we're learning a whole new way of exposing, and the way cameras react, and all the different cameras are very different. But I think what I've done is I never kind of pretend that I don't know. And so whenever I'm doing something different, or I have a DIT with me and we're doing tests, I'll say, you know, you show me if there's an ASA that works for black, let's test it, and you give me. So I'm trying to, you know, keep the conversation going all the time, and to be able to learn from everybody who's very comfortable with this. And now I feel comfortable, but it did take a while, because it's like teaching an old dog new tricks, and it is a different way of working, and you have to approach a way that you light and shoot.
What was your biggest challenge in transition process?
Exposure. To me, is it how, because I'm used to knowing how negative, to expose negative to make it work for whites, make it work for blacks, but these new cameras, to make sure that what was on the big screen, I had latitude, and understanding the latitude of the camera and exposing it in exactly the right spot, to me was the hardest thing.
Have you used help of DIT?
Yes. I mean, I don't always have a DIT. Sometimes on some shoots I'll go out now, I feel comfortable knowing how the camera works. But now, because we sort of don't really have dailies anymore, the DIT is very important, because we're setting up now on my shoots, we set up a LUT on set, or we've prepped a LUT beforehand, and we're lighting to that LUT. So the DIT to me is very important, because of course the LUT doesn't always work across the board, and you're having to adjust little bits. And when you're working fast and they're saying, you know, we have to do this because it's a little bit green in here, or blah, blah, whatever, I have to have a relationship with them now that where I trust them. It's like having, I mean, they're not a dailies colorist, but they sort of have to cross over that line and understand colour and images as well. So it's a hard new job.
Any technological invention affect you mostly in the last 10 years?
Probably the lighting units, you know, are much smaller and lighter. And, you know, there was a time when I first started and all the lights were Fresnels, and then Kino Flow just started to come in. So it's the kind, and that had been the case for a long time. So I suppose for me, it's like now LED lighting, the light ribbon, and which I use a lot in different circumstances. To me, that those tools have been the biggest changes in the last 10 years for me, more than sort of camera movement or anything like that. Although I have to say, the first 2 movies I shot, we didn't have a VTR at all. There was no split. The director would sit next to the camera and...
Very good old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah,
you hire me, you trust me, or else.
Yeah, that's right. And so I've seen that happen too. Makes me sound old, doesn't it? But it existed when I first started, but not a lot of movies used it unless they were really big films. So it's that, about the quality of the image that's on set too, I think has been a huge change. You know, and the monitors, those OLED monitors that now I have on set with the image coming straight out of Alexa is incredible. And so that to me is a really big... I think in my case, it's made me braver, because, you know, when you're shooting negative and you're kind of going, I'll just leave a little bit in those shadows.
What's going to happen in the morning?
Yeah, so exactly. So now I think I make more brave decisions, because I see it straight away.